Hey, hey, hey! It's the Pacific Northwest Geek here. Echo! Kiro here. Cha. And I'm back with another ITN review. As I will be looking at the 2022 movie, hold it here. I actually had to do a few takes because I kept getting this title wrong. Deep Sea Mutant Snake. In this movie, we are shown that there's this island with this lab. In this lab, they have been experimenting on snakes. These snakes essentially are not easy to kill because we see one get ran over and then it pops up. It's annoyed, but it's it's not dead. But we see that they've made this one snake. They made one snake that's the size of the snake from Anaconda, but they've made another snake that's basically, this is a kaiju-sized snake. Anyways, this rich guy shows up with his two bodyguards. He's not too happy. He doesn't like he doesn't like the results, and he's like, "Kill all the snakes, destroy all the data, kill all the scientists, just get it over with." As this is going on, we see that his soldiers have dug a big pit and are dumping the other snakes in there and using flamethrowers. They go to kill the kaiju snake by injecting it with poison. It doesn't work. They try to incinerate it. It doesn't work. It sends out a cry that basically tells the other snakes basically time to go to get to action and start killing people. So the snakes in the pit, they're not dying. They actually start killing the soldiers. The anaconda-sized snake gets free, and as this is going on, they're burning the documents. They're killing the scientists. The rich guy and his two bodyguards go to leave, but he tells his bodyguards to stay behind, and he flies off. Although we see what I guess is probably might have been the kaiju snake takes out one of the helicopters, and the two bodyguards are eventually also killed. We're then shown sometime later this cruise. On this cruise, we meet our hero Quinn, Quinn, and anyways, his fiance was a journalist and was trying to do a report, investigation on the Evil Corporation, which happens to be the same corporation that made the snakes, but she was killed. So he's on this cruise to find this guy who could help testify. He wants to testify against that company. He wants to take them down. And he meets this woman who wants him to pose nude. Actually, she wants to pose nude before she reveals she's actually a journalist who's doing the same thing his late fiance was doing. And she wants to work with him to try to take this company down. As the ship's going, something seems to hit the ship. And what they don't know is why the ship kind of rocks is the kaiju snake is kind of swimming or whatever the snakes do in the water around the ship. We see the other snakes, they board the ship and start killing the passengers. Quinn, the reporter, the guy who wants to testify, they're running, and people are dying. You said one guy, he's like probably like trying to brush his teeth or something, and a snake comes out of the drain and kills him. This one guy's trying to make out with two girls in a car. Snakes kill them. They see this one guy who's like working on the ship. They're like, "Hell, snakes! I ain't no snake. See you? Looks like you can't." Snake comes out and pulls him up. The anaconda snake's on the ship. They eventually get with some other survivors. His grandfather and his granddaughter, and this other guy that's with him doesn't really talk. Kind of long, raggedy hair, mustache, white shirt with black stripes. He's a mysterious individual. They get with one of the guys, the survivors they get with knows Quinn. They have a history together, and they end up trapping the anaconda snake in a freezer, and they realize they got to get control of the ship to try to get out of there. Well, they do get control of the ship, but as they're doing this, they see something. It's outside the ship. It is the kaiju snake. So now they're like, "Oh shit!" And there's a scene where they fire a flare, and one of the guys takes a spotlight, and boom, there it is. And it starts trying to crush the ship. They get off the ship, And they blow the ship up, hoping it killed the kaiju snake. They make it to this island. And while they're on the island, they see these weird like barnacle things. But when one of the survivors gets cut, these weird creatures come out and pull her in. And anybody who's cut or got blood on them, these creatures are attacking. So they get past there and they're going around the island and they see a giant spider. We get a scene that's reminiscent of kind of like something what we saw in Kong Skull Island with the spider that's legs were like trees. All like bamboo, giant bamboo things. We get to see that. We see they find some like a little hut thing like a that's got guns and a radio and they're trying to get for help. We see a body, remains, skeletal remains. And eventually we discover that skeletal remains as well as one of the bodyguards we had seen at the beginning of the movie because they are on the island from the beginning of the movie and a considerable amount of time has passed, enough for bodies to decay to nothing but bones and for the plant life to take back over things, the lab and stuff. And we also see that the strange guy, silent guy, he knows what's going on. He was a scientist that survived the attack. And now they got like the barnacle things, the spiders, the giant snake to survive. They have to find this. Help's on the way, but they have a problem. The kaiju snake's there. This movie, it's an ITN one. It's on Tubi with subtitles. It's a Chinese, I believe it's a Chinese movie, Chinese horror movie. It's actually up until when they make it to the lab, it's pretty good. I mean, when I saw the spider thing, it was like, it's freaking Kong Skull Island. Wow, that's not really creative. I mean, it's a cool moment, but well, once they make it to the lab, it seems like it starts to feel like the movie is, what, an hour and a half? And once they make it to the lab, the pacing kind of slows down a little bit. And it kind of makes it feel like the movie's dragging on a bit. CGI, it's decent. I like the look of the kaiju snake. I thought it was pretty cool. The barnacle things are kind of like, when you see them, you know something's up at first. You're like, what the hell is that? And when they come out, it's like, so there's more than snakes. And the spider thing again, yeah, it's a spider thing. It's a pretty good, it's an enjoyable movie, like I said, if you like subtitles, because, you know, some people like subtitles, some people don't. To each their own. I would suggest this movie just because it's ITN and it makes a pretty good one. So although I still feel like this shows that why some of the ones like the Oriental or Asian ones are better than the other ones that they release. I will, if I can find the trailer, I'll put it in the description, and I'll put a link for this, the Tubi link for it in the description. Anyways, I've got to go. It's 1:15 in the morning. I am somehow managed to be hungry. I'm hungry, tired, and hype at the same time. And all out of jokes. I'm sure there was a lot of jokes I could have made, like the one that came out of the sink. Why didn't they have one come out of the toilet? That would have been funny as hell. You know, warped, demented way. But anyways, I'm the Pacific Northwest Geek, and I will see you on the flip side. Toodaloo.